with some examples from Eshape by TLE. This time we will, or maybe not hear from AmeriGeo or AfriGeo. We will see if they arrive, but we will discuss uptake in those other regions. And then data sharing and interoperability for service providers by Marie-Françoise and Joan Masso. And then we will talk about how we plan on completing this process, this community hearing, basically, of the Green Paper and what you can do to join us. But because we have this very busy program in the Geo symposium, we will start with the interoperability. But first of all, I will tell you who I am. I'm Bentili Yabi. I'm one of the co-chairs of Next EOS, who is behind this spotlight session. So with that, I think I will give the floor to you, Marie-Françoise. You are here, and then we can learn about interoperability.
So my name is Marie-Françoise Wardreau. I use the work which is done in the group Interoperability in Next EOS. So Next EOS Green Paper aims at addressing the challenges we are facing when speeding up the uptake of Earth observations in services. Service providers really need interoperability to exchange data, to connect systems, but also eventually to create interoperability between initiatives and people. So in the past years, there has been a good progress which have been made relatively to the first principles of Geo and of the FAIR principles, relatively to the findable and accessibility, or discoverability and accessibility as it is named in the Geo data management principles. And even if we still have a lot of progress to make, because we always have more sophisticated scenarios, we always have new type of data, we always need more interoperability across several domains who have implemented the standards in a different way. So we still have work to do on these aspects. But in the last years, what we have seen is that several initiatives have kicked off to work on the other principles which are related to interoperability and reusability, and which relate to the Geo management principles from 3 to 10. So, for example, we have presented on Tuesday a work which has been done by OGC, which is a concept development study on the Earth observation cloud platforms, and where we have explained that we are going from the data providers have pushed the data, make the data available in the cloud, but now they develop systems to create capacities to push the applications to the data, because we are in the context of big geospatial data, and very often this data is so big that now you cannot download the data and process it in real time. So more and more, the data providers are developing this capacity to run the applications near the data. And this is a real trend that all the community has to be aware of, because from one side, considering the stakeholders, we have the data providers, the cloud service providers, but on the other side, we have the intermediate users developing the applications, and they also have to learn how to go to the cloud. And we identify now in Eshape that this is something that needs some capacity building to make sure that all the stakeholders are evolving at the same speed. What we have seen is that there are initiatives like the ERA initiative where the participants, the partners have developed and embraced the data sharing and access principles, but differently in the different domains. And the connection in the interoperability between each domain is still something which can present some issues. So interoperability is really needed, and not only to apply the principle per domain. The Geo Knowledge Hub is an example of initiative to work on the concept of reusability, the R of the FAIR principle, and it is something which also requires all the Geo principles. So next year's interoperability group will work on identifying the existing efforts, understand the trends, increase the awareness through the diverse community to make sure that everyone is understanding what is happening in this environment, in the different domains, but also through the different stakeholders, from the providers to the users. And we need more volunteers because we are very few in this group and it can be hard to cover all the initiatives. So this is a call for volunteers to join us and work on this topic. This presentation has been prepared by John Mazo and by me, and you can contact us if you need some more information or if you want to participate into these works. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marie-Françoise. We move quickly on to you, Thierry, you will talk about uptake of Earth observation in Europe, more specifically examples from Eshape.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Thierry Ranchin, I'm from MinParisTech, and I am also the Eshape scientific coordinator. Eshape means Geo Showcase application powered by Europe, and that's what I'm going to present you today on some of the activity we had. So some fast facts, Eshape, it's 60 partners, 7 showcase, 32 pilot, and a 4-year grant. We are right now at the middle of these 4 years. This 32 pilot, we start with 27, and we have a first onboarding process that allow us to add 5 more pilot, and we will have a new one that will end in September, and you are welcome to participate. That allow to have 5 more pilots with a grant of 50K for each of these pilots. So you will find all the elements at the end of the presentation to go on. Here are our objectives that really develop operational EO service with and for the users, to demonstrate the benefit of EO pilot, promote the uptake, enable the long-term sustainability, and increase the awareness of our EO solution through different actions. You can explore what we are doing through concrete example on the 7 showcase: agriculture, health, renewable energy, ecosystem, water, disaster, and climate. And some pilots are already accessible, and more is to come. And you have a link here that allow you to explore the one that are available. And so here are some of the example. The one on harvester season which is dedicated to exploring the condition for cutting the trees during the good season in Finland, and it was based on climate services. You have other type of climate services that are available, including the preparedness for the season, that allow the people to have the good enough tire to change when you have the obligation to change them at the change of season. Nexent, which is a solar energy nowcasting and short-term forecasting system, a series of products that are operational and operated also with some real end users. So it's nowcasting, forecasting, and also historical data, and there are more to come with code design activity which is already done within the project. Here are the lists of some of the user of these systems, and you see it's a ministry and independent power transmission operator, and also public and private authorities. Here you have an example of the tools, and you can explore it through the link which is at the end of this slide, and also some mapping tools that are available and for this pilot. So if you want to know more about Eshape, you can go to the website, which is www.e-shape.eu, and the pilot section. If you have any question, including how to onboard on the new onboarding session, you can go to the help desk, and it's linked also with the website. So helpdesk.e-shape.eu. You can also browse the different social networks, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, And there is something new on our YouTube channel with a lot of demonstration of at least 8 new pilots that are available and that can be explored with short videos and which give you a flavor of what we are doing. And also some of these examples that are here, Agrowth, Resi Agri, the one dedicated to agriculture, but also wind energy, the knowledge hub for mercury, and some water example. And that's some snapshot to allow you to have some view on what we are doing. And thank you for listening. And if you want to contact us, here are some links. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thierry. Now, the green paper is a document representing the state of the art, and Elena will explain more how we have divided the work. But the green paper is sort of a pre-policy paper, the background for a later white paper, and then hopefully we will be able to influence the policy, since this will be a geo community paper. It can be used across globe, not only in Europe, where we just heard an example from Europe, but the green paper can be used as a background for further policy work in other regions as well.
The green paper is originally started by geo community activity called Next EOS, Next Generation of Observation Services. Currently, we have 4 different sections that we will see just in a second.
Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. I was using
that's
the wrong
absolutely fine. So this is what we are presenting now. It's a preliminary report with a goal to provoke a discussion in a bigger geo community. Later in this session, Anna will present how everyone can contribute, can volunteer to express their opinion. Okay, I see that we are already seeing, thank you, I see already here the structures of the green paper. So currently we have 4 chapters, starting with the landscape of observation services across the geo community as an introduction. And then in the second sections, we focus on identified gaps. So in Next EOS community, we perform gap analysis in different categories, such as user communities, technologies and other tools, capacity development, and sustainability. There is a separated chapter related to interoperability, as it's a wider topic. We just saw it, it was presented by Marie-Françoise. It's a wider topic that goes across all other areas, and it seems to be crucial for faster uptake of observation. And then at the end of this report, we propose a selection of the most pressing challenges. As I mentioned, this is the first draft. It was prepared by Next EOS community, and now we would like to invite wider geo community for contributions. Thank you.
So Anna Ponte is the fellow co-chair of Next EOS. And Anna, you can explain how we foresee the process to get to the end point with this green paper.
Thank you, Bente. So yes, as Elena said, this green paper, and you said also, Bente, this green paper intends to be like kind of the voice of the stakeholders from the Earth observation field. So a number of different stakeholders across thematic areas, the voice of them to on what concerns the most important points to address when developing the next generation Earth observation services. And so that's the intention of this green paper. And the timeline that we have to provide the green paper with this voice from the stakeholders and to make it an official paper is that we are here in June. So we are here at the Geo symposium, and there was also in this month a Geo program board meeting So this is the starting point after the next EOS community has started to work in the text for the green paper. We are presenting it now as an open and a living and ongoing paper. From now until the end of August, we would like to have the inputs from the Geo community as having a hearing period to get your contributions and to consolidate this green paper as much as possible with the contributions from all the Geo community. So in the end of this, we will have, of this hearing period, we will have a consolidated version to present to the Euro Geo workshop on the 20th of September, and also to take the concrete text to the Geo program board. And after receiving the inputs in both of these events, we want to have an updated version to take to the Geo plenary when the green paper can be endorsed by the Geo plenary. And then we will have a final version approved by the Geo plenary. And next slide. How can you contribute to having your involvement in the text for the green paper? You can subscribe in this link. So Bente has written this link here in the chat. You can use this link to subscribe to the list of contributors, and then you can have access to the text and help us write this and consolidate this green paper as a shared vision for the future of Earth observation services. And that's it from my side.
Yes, and thank you so much, Anna. And you see also the emails to both Anna and me. If you want to write us to get more information, that's also a possibility. But we really welcome the co-authoring and input and comments from the entire Geo community. That's the way we can create a common view of the world when it comes to faster uptake of Earth observations. Do you have any? We have a few minutes now, so if you have any questions, please raise your hand or just unmute yourself. I think you are able to unmute yourself here. I will unshare. Yes, so if you want to ask questions now, you are free to do so. I think you can speak in this version of it. Just unmute yourself, right? Emmanuel, can you test it?
Yeah, Bente, Emmanuel, thanks. I'm discovering this activity in green paper. Are you looking for use cases, end user? Because you were mentioning voice from stakeholders, but who are the stakeholders? The guys across the value chain from data production down to end user, or
yes.
If you can clarify what you're looking for, then happy to contribute if I can.
Yes, so this is faster uptake of Earth observation for services, right? So it means all the way from those who are providing data, yeah, the entire production line or the value chain, as you say it, all of those what you call it, the parts of the chain needs to be involved, right? So yes, the entire value chain needs to be involved. That will be ideal to have that, and that's sort of also what we try to reflect in the structure of the paper. But any input that is welcome to the way we are approaching this. Of course, the structure is based on, I believe you said that, Elena, that the work that we have done so far in the next EOS community, we started in October, November, and have had a process on identifying gaps and discussions. So that's why we landed on this structure. So we foresee, we hope to, so this is a Geo community, right? In Geo, we have all, in the Geo work program, we have the flagships, the initiatives, and community activities. All of these will have different perspectives, and we hope to capture the most, the most pressing challenges, as is in the title, in the final chapter there.
Yes, and if I can complement, just to say that Next Use in itself is an interface community activity for different stakeholders. So that's the origin. The origin of this green paper comes from this idea of an interface between different stakeholders and different members of the value chain. So that's the spirit also for the green paper.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm spending quite a lot of time investigating what in Europe is called data spaces. Mm. And I think that's, so Gaia-X, IDSA, and whatsoever. That could be an interesting perspective, because here we are in contact with guys coming from a domain perspective. Mm. They have no clue about Earth observation, even not about geospatial for some of them, but they are super interested in what we can bring to them through services.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy to discuss it further if and when appropriate.
Yes, Emmanuel, I saw that you signed up already, so we will send you the document, and then you will see what we've done so far, and you are free to contribute with your thoughts. And we will, of course, continue to discuss this topic in the monthly next EOS meetings that I know you've been there also. So this is the process. So, but we wanted to open it up. So this is why we are here in the Geo symposium. We want to open it up to the entire Geo work program to come and join us in this effort. So thank you, Emmanuel, for your interest and your offering to volunteer. I see that there are, Stefano, hello. I also see Lulekwa, sorry for destroying your name. Frank Toussaint, I see also. We will be happy to hear from you if this is interesting, or what would be your perspective on a green paper.
Yeah, I have a question about the relation of this green paper with respect to the next EOS gap analysis post-part uptake of Earth observation. So how these two documents relate each other?
Maybe I can take this question.
Yes, Elena.
Yeah, so it started with gap analysis. Gap analysis was a starting point, and this paper, it's kind of summary of what has been done in scope of gap analysis, but at the same time, it's a starting point for the further discussion.
Okay, thanks.
Any other? Lulekwa, are you unmuted yourself, so you are welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been, I think, an insightful session today, and I'm looking forward to contributing to the paper as well. So thank you for at least giving us some insight and background on it and context.
Excellent, thank you so much. Are you coming from Africa?
South Africa, yes. SAG.
Excellent, so happy to welcome you. And Frank, are you ready to unmute yourself?
Yes, I try to. Well, to be honest, I can also make me visible. To be honest, I'm somewhat an alien in your community, because we do not work with Earth observations, but with Earth system modeling. I am from the German Climate Computing Center and from the World Data Center for Climate, and we have lots of data that might be, well, that one might want to link to Earth observation data in a better manner. I think the climate modeling community worldwide is rather advanced in visualizing data, and your community is as well, but I see few links only And this might be a field where we can progress.
Absolutely. So are you ready to sign up to contribute to the process?
I try to. It depends on the time I have, but I try to.
Yeah, any small or big, it doesn't, it's not, it's the capacity you have.
It's okay.
Yeah. And Thierry, did you want to say something? Yes.
Yes, just to answer to Frank, we consider in Geo that Earth observation is also composed by the output of the modeling systems using all type of observation. So you're more than welcome in our community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I see that I oversat the time. I am wanted in a capacity development session now. So thank you so much. Sign up used via the link or write to Anna or me or Thierry also for that matter. Okay, thank you so much. And
Bye-bye.
see you
Thank you very
next
much.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.